show. Madison, get as loud as you can right now for your host, Elliott GB.
Oh, Saturday Late Show. Y'all ready to have some fun? There we go. We're about to have a good time. This is fun. I've been here all weekend, man. These shows have been a fucking blast. So happy you guys are here. Honestly, I'm just happy to be out of the house. My white roommate just learned no scrubs on the acoustic guitar, so it's pretty rough. Pretty rough where I live. All right, a lot of white looks coming back at me. You guys are like, what's wrong with little Destiny's Child, huh? It's every day, man. It sounds like fucking Mumford and Sons trying to get invited to the cookout. And I'm like, this is not it, my guy, not it. I drove here from LA, and he was like, isn't that gonna take a while? And I was like, bro, I'd fucking walk if I could. I really would. This is hell. No, it's cool. It's cool to be out of the house. I started therapy over COVID because that's just like the thing to do now. That shit's trending, you know? Even people in small towns are doing it, which I think is nuts. I'm like, I would never sign up to therapy if there was a chance my therapist is someone I went to high school with. You gotta get the fuck out of here. Usually your first session, you like get them caught up about your life and everything. Small town, you just sit down, they're like, you changed your hair, huh? Interesting. You're telling them about your life, they're just like cross-checking it with rumors they heard. You're like, yeah, junior year, my dad hurt his back at work, got addicted to pain pills. That kind of put a strain on my parents' marriage. And they're like, I heard it was crack, but okay. All right. Finally, you get to the trauma. They're like, where do you think this low self-esteem came from? And you're like, you motherfucker, you bullied me. All 4 years. They're like, well, it's my professional opinion. You wear some dumb fucking shirts. So, what can I say? I also, I tried to smoke weed over COVID. I succeeded. I don't know why I said it like that. I know how to do it. I wasn't like I couldn't figure it out. It wasn't like every day I was plugging a vape into my computer, just like, all right, let's download some dabs. How do we crack this code? Does anyone not know what a dab is? Really? Okay. All right. I saw some of you walk in with some real narc energy, and you're telling me I know everything. Is for real? Everyone knows what a dab is? Yeah, all right. I still don't believe you, but I'll explain it since everyone knows. A dab, it's like super concentrated THC, right? It looks like it's like a wax substance, so you can't just like smoke it normally. To smoke it, you have to have like all kinds of heavy machinery and like zoning permits. You got to be OSHA certified, which a lot of people don't know. They get caught on that one, but you got to be OSHA compliant. The first time I ever saw someone smoke a dab was at like this day party cookout thing. And this girl, she took a dab. I'm not exaggerating. She got so high, she couldn't put sunglasses on. That's how high. Everyone was like freaking out. They're like, oh my God, what do we do? The thing is though, like a year earlier, this girl, we were all out. She got drunk and called me the N-word. And so we're at this party. Everyone's freaking out. They're like, oh my God, she can't walk. She can't talk. Should we call an ambulance? And I was just in the corner like, give her another. No, do it. Hit it, Caitlin. Hit it again. Hit it again. Let's fucking kill this white devil. Let's do it. Someone was like, what? And I was like, I said let's take it to another level. 420. She survived, though. Racism won that day. You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I got the vaccine. Vaxxed, got that. Unless I don't like you, then no, I didn't. I did not. I didn't get it at all. That's why I'm so happy they're doing the vaccine passport thing, because I'm like, finally, I don't have to go to anything ever again. Like, I was running out of excuses. People are like showing it on Instagram. They're like, look at my card. I got the card. I didn't even get the card. They started to fill it out. I slipped them a 20. I was like, this stays between us, okay? This stays right here in the CVS, all right? Like, I'm looking for an excuse. Please don't invite me to anything. Hey, man, we're going out for Scott's birthday on Saturday. We're going to get drinks. You want to come? I'm like, I can't. They're like, oh, you busy? And I'm like, nah, man. Vaccines melt steel beams, all right? I'm fucking out there, dude. I'm like Jenny McCarthy's Jenny McCarthy right now. I'm saying crazy shit. And they're like, what? And I'm just like, typical Virgo, am I right? And walk away. Airtight excuse. It's an airtight 2021 excuse. The only better excuse, we all know it, we all love it, diarrhea. That's what it is. And look, I'm not trying to be funny, okay? I'm not trying to be like, poop is so funny, huh? I'm like, let's be real, okay? My set list, it just says complain about my roommate and change the world, all right? So let's talk about it. Diarrhea, the best excuse, because no one's gonna follow up. No one's gonna hear that and be like, let me see. Let me take a look. What did you do? The best they're gonna do is they're gonna be like, oh my God, what happened? Even then, the sky's the fucking limit. Use your imagination. Oh, what happened? Man, I had a carrot for like the first time in 9 years. Even a doctor would be like, hey man, watch out for carrots then, I guess. Stay vigilant. They're in like every soup, whether you see it or not. Be careful. It's insane. We take diarrhea more seriously in this country than mental health. We do. I told you, I'm changing the world tonight, all right? We're getting into it. That's what pissed me off about the whole Simone Biles thing. She was like, I'm not in the right headspace. Best case scenario, I break my legs, right? Worst case scenario, I'm paralyzed or I die. And everyone was still like, do the fucking flip. Do it, I want to see tens. Everyone gets on Twitter. A real athlete would never do this. A real competitor would never. Michael Jordan would never do this. Michael Jordan played with the flu. He had the flu game. He played with bubble guts. Michael Jordan would never. Michael Jordan is fucking insane. We all get that, right? Like, he's nuts. Like, we've all seen The Last Dance, right? We've all seen it. All right, well, y'all better read a fucking synopsis real quick, because I'm going to talk about it for like the next 3 minutes. It's crazy because in the documentary, they had like people from his life, like all these old coaches, right? Being like, he's always been a great competitor. He deserves every trophy, every magazine cover, every statue he gets. I was waiting for one dude to come on who's been like, oh yeah, that boy ain't right. But never has been. He needs a hug. That's all he needs. He needs a hug and he needs to be told, it's okay to lose, Mike. Someone has to lose. That's how games work. Fucking piece of shit, dude. He's not here. Shut up. He's good. It's good. Like, it's fine. He is. He's a terrible person. He doesn't tip. So that wraps it up right there. He went to this basketball camp. Chris Paul, who's like an NBA player, had this basketball camp for kids. He went to the camp, and Chris Paul was like, hey, man, let's do a fun bet. I bet if you can't do around the world, so you shoot all the way around the three-point line, if you miss like 2 or 3 shots, every kid in this camp gets a pair of shoes, right? That's like 10 seconds worth of income from Michael Jordan. It's fucking nothing. And the kids were there, by the way. I don't know if I said that. The kids were like in the gym. It wasn't like he was like, hey, let's do a little side. He was like, let the boys watch, you know? Like, let them see. This motherfucker made every single shot in front of the babies. You understand how insane? Like, even Chris Paul covered his eyes at one point and was like, bro, are you a fucking supervillain? What are you doing? Stop. The kids could see it too at the beginning. They're all like jazzed up. They're like, oh, hell yeah, we're gonna get shoes. And at the end, they're like, I want to go to art school. I don't want to play sports. Fucking yellow-eyed motherfucker. All right, you guys really haven't seen the documentary. That he's got yellow eyes now. It's weird. It's weird. And I Googled it. I was curious. And some people were like, well, maybe his liver's failing or maybe he has kidney issues. Honestly, I think Charles Barkley was just like, hey, man, I bet you $10,000 you can't turn into a lizard. And he was like, say less, bro. Say less. That's why he's jumping around with his mouth open. He's catching flies. Every time he lands, he's like, I'm eating bugs, Chuck. I'm eating bugs. That's pretty lizard-like. Fuck that, dude. Watch, in like 2 years, I'm in a sweatshop gluing the little fucking Jumpman logo onto some socks. He's like, I heard about what you did in that basement in Madison, man. I work in restaurants. Does anyone here also have a drinking problem? No? Okay. Interesting, all right. No, I think everyone should work in restaurants at some point in your life because that is like the quickest, most surefire way to learn that human beings are absolute trash. Just the worst. The worst. That's what pissed me off about the whole like turtle thing with the straws, where everyone's like, oh my God, we're hurting the turtles. Can you believe it? Like, bro, I've worked in restaurants for 10 years. Yes. Easily. You think that's bad? Why don't you take a fucking drink order when someone's not ready, okay? You'll see. You'll be wishing for a straw in your nose at that point. And it can come from anywhere, dude. You go up to the sweetest old lady, right? She's sitting there shivering. They always are. Go up to her, you say, what can I get you, miss? What would you like? She's like, oh, hello. I would like one tall glass of whatever will ruin your fucking life. Your manager's like 10 feet away, so you just have to be like, is Pepsi okay? You would ruin human beings for anyone. You could take like the Pope, right? You ask the Pope, hey Pope, what do you think of human life? We all know the Pope. He would be like, oh, a human life is so sacred. Oh, a spicy human life. I love a human life so much. You know, like, he's from Argentina. I don't have to continue. We get it, right? You ask the Pope, though, that same question after he's worked 3 brunch shifts? Hey, Pope, what do you think of human life? He's out back by the dumpster just like... We don't need everybody. We don't. All right, that's going to do it for me. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you.